So two things might happen this morning. One, I'm sitting in my mum's front yard, so sometimes it gets a bit noisy with traffic and stuff, so hopefully that's not too discerning. And two, my laptop is at 25% and there is no PowerPoint out here, so if something happens and I just cut out, that's why. So feel free to restart the playlist. Make sure it's off shuffle. And I've asked you guys to get a blanket or I'm not sure if anyone actually owns a bolster, blanket, bolster or towel, and just roll it up. You can see that I'm sitting on mine. I just want you to find a little bit of a lift in your seat to really open up the hips, to get the hips dropping down. So if it's a towel or a blanket, just roll it up into like a cylinder kind of shape and just sit on that. Other option, if it's more comfortable for you, to place the towel or blanket or bolster between your legs, and we'll just sit down like that. So whatever's comfortable for you today. So I'll give you a moment to get that sorted. And if you're ready, we're just going to start with Nadi Shodhana, a balancing breath. So bringing your index finger and your middle finger to your temple, your third eye, and letting your thumb and ring finger rest on the outer edges of your nostrils. Closing over the right nostril, close the eyes over as well. Inhaling through the left for 3, 2, 1. Close the left over, open the right, exhale through the right for 3, 2, 1. Inhale through the right for 3, 2, 1. Close over the right and exhale through the left. 3, 2, 1. And so here you continue at your own pace. Option to take a hand mudra with the hand that's on your leg, thumb to index finger, palm facing down for a bit more grounding, facing up for a bit of a lift today. And continue your balancing breath. Imagining breath going all the way up to your third eye, meeting in the middle. And filling you with light. Our balancing breath, Nadi Shodhana, is helping us find equilibrium between our nostrils, and equilibrium with our nadis, which is our energy lines. The right and the left are responsible for different, activities, just as your left and right brain are. And start to turn your attention inward. Letting go of anything sticky or heavy that's maybe been coming up for you. And just giving yourself space to be here, now. Relaxing all the muscles that aren't required for Nadi Shodhana. Relaxing the face. And working on an even inhale and exhale. Continue that. And today's class is looking at cycles of life. With each death comes rebirth, and birth and life, decay and death again, and around we go. And you can see these cycles in so many parts of life. Death of self, birthdays, and I hope I'm speaking loud enough. I'm feeling very calm and quiet this morning, so if I'm whispering, I apologize. So we're in Nadi Shodhana, inhaling through the left, exhaling through the right, inhaling through the right and exhaling through the left. And you might find your right arm starts to get a little tired. You can just bring your left arm just to hold that right arm. But you continue your breath, our prana, our life force. And so throughout today's class, as we look at the cycles of life, just notice. That's all I want you to do. Not trying to shift or change anything today. We're just noticing what comes up, our response to change. For we live in a cyclical place. And as women, we have our own cycles to take into account, to start to notice, and potentially use to our benefit. Men similarly have your cycles as well. A day cycle in line with the sun, while women attach ourselves to the moon. Different every night throughout the month, but always coming back to the same place. When you're ready, release your Nadi Shodhana and just release your hand to the ground and breathe through evenly through both nostrils and take a moment to really notice how that feels. Nice deep inhales down to the belly and exhaling through the nose, keeping that mouth closed, not tight, but closed. Bring your hands to heart center. And I welcome you to the last class of the 6 weeks for spring. As we move into spring, the birth season, my birthday. Take a moment to set an intention. And please try, as your mind starts to wander, starts to swirl around with things to do, remember that this hour you've set aside just for you to be here. Everything else will still be there at the end. Can you take some time to let all that go and sit still, present? Nice deep inhale into the belly. Open your mouth, exhale with a sound, a cleansing breath. Emptying all the way out. And returning your breath back to normal, close that mouth over. Bow your head to your heart center, acknowledging that you're here. Inhale, lifting up, open the eyes. We're going to start in our cat-cow, so feel free to shift your blanket or towel or bolster, whatever it is, just to the side. We might come back to that. For the moment, just moving into our cat-cow. So knees stacked under, hips, hands, under shoulders, and find what you need today. Drop the belly, lift the chest, inhaling open. And exhale, press the earth away, suction the belly, drop the tailbone. My tailbone is not doing so great at the moment, so if it doesn't look too bent, that will be why. Inhale, opening back up into your cat. Your cow. And just move with your own breath this morning. It's a very gentle practice we have today. I don't want any pushing, some effort, but nothing that's not feeling pleasurable this morning. So you find where your pleasure center is, and you can sit in that. We're waking up the spine. We'll start to thread our needle, right arm to the sky. And exhaling, slipping onto your left. Nice and gentle fluid movement. Moving with your breath. Try and imagine an environment, if it is not your home, it might be your home where you are, but an environment that brings you peace. And just one more. And as you lower to the ground, option to take a bind to bring your left arm over to the back of your right hip. And just sit here for a moment, opening up the chest space to the left of the room. Find your breath. And exhale, releasing the bind, pressing back up, and we'll swap sides so we thread the needle with the left arm to the sky and back down. And if there are moments and times to continue at your own breath that you want to just sit, maybe you want to just stay down today. Maybe you like to reaching for the sky. You find what you need and listen to your body. And just one more. And option to take the bind. The left arm on the ground, right arm comes over and behind, opening up that chest space. Exhale, pressing back up. And bring those toes together. Knees come out wide, and we're going to lower down into Balasana. Now here, if you ever find it difficult to get that forehead to the ground with a straight spine, you can use that towel or that blanket to just sit under your forehead and provide you with a little extra comfort. Find your prana, your breath. Just noticing. Take yourself back to the place of peace, of pleasure, home. Inhale, pressing back up nice and gently. We're going to walk our hands a little in front of our shoulders, tuck our toes, lift our hips to the sky. Beautiful down dog. Bend your knees as much as you want this morning. You'll find the mornings, generally your muscles are a little tighter. And if it's cold, a little tighter still. Pedal the feet out, move the hips. Find those gentle movements. And then find stillness. Find your breath. Then look to our hands. Really bend your knees nice and low. We're just going to step all the way up. Finding our first forward fold, Uttanasana. I'm really going to be bending my knees this morning. But you take what you need. Arms options to bring your arms behind your legs. And just rest here for a moment. Letting that blood rush to your upper body. Inhale, straightening the legs, straightening the back, halfway lift. Exhale, lowering back down. Inhale, we'll lift all the way up nice and slow. Slower. Slower than what you're used to. Inhale, arms rise up, moving into our first sun salutation. Stay with the arms raised just for a moment. I'm going to swap sides here. Arms are up and raised. Set up your Tadasana. Take a moment to remember what it is to stand, mountain pose. Feet, toes lift, spread, plant back down to a monkey gripping the earth, lifting the thigh bones, navel to spine. Inhaling, arms rise up. Just gaze over the tips of your fingers. Exhale, bring those hands to heart center. Close the eyes over. Find your breath. Take a moment to roll the shoulders up, back, and down, clearing the space for your throat. And we're going to be going through Sun A, our sun salutation, quite a few times today. So I'd love if you could find a pace that suits you and move through it as best you can, without pressure, without a need to shift or change. Things will change with repetition, whether you want them to or not. So don't try, just notice. Deep breath in, exhaling out. And inhale, arms rise up. We'll start our first sun salutation. Exhale, forward fold. You start to move at your own pace. If my cueing is not where you're at, then you move where you like. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, really bending the knees, plant the hands. You step back into your high plank. And set up that high plank. One beautiful line of energy from the heels to the crown of the head, navel to spine. Press the earth away. Stay, Abby. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, lower down. Option, bring your knees to the ground. No rushing today. No need for that extra strength. Magnetize the elbows. Tuck the tummy. Cobra pose just to where it's comfortable. If this isn't what you want to do, keep that head on the ground. Take a moment to lie down. Cobra, opening the chest up. Option for up dog. Exhaling, down dog. And we stay here for 5 breaths. And so today we're listening to one of my favorite albums by a group called Beautiful Chorus. And they sing through our chakra system, creating space in all parts of our body. Inhale, bend the knees, look to the hands. And you step forward once you finish that 5th breath. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, rising all the way up. Arms come out wide. Exhale, hands to heart center. And take a moment, close the eyes over. And so you'll notice the mind will wander. Just try and bring it back to your breath, your movement. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, bending the knees, plant the hands, stepping back to our high plank. Again, option here, lower the knees. That's where I'm at today. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Very good. Chaturanga. And so we give our bodies a beautiful gift of movement. Inhale, lifting the chest. Extend the feet to the back of the room. Lower those shoulder blades. And it doesn't need to be extreme movement. Exhale, pressing up to your down dog. It's just enough movement to remind the body that you know it's there and that you're here to care for it. 5 breaths here. Find some stillness and move a little deeper. Your body, a beautiful, almost separate part of you that we want to bring into the fold of the mind and the soul. It does so much on its own. And we take time out of our busy schedules just to thank it, feed it, move it. Inhale, bend the knees, look to the hands. Stepping up to Uttanasana. My dog's saying hi to you all. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we'll slowly rise up. Nice and wide, arms out wide. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bring that navel to spine. And we'll go one more time. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, forward fold. I remember in my yoga training how many sun A's we would do. Inhale, halfway lift. Just to learn the bases of all the poses. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, stepping back. So our sun A has a little bit of everything. Inhale, shift the weight forward, option to drop the knees, lowering down, Chaturanga. Extend the feet behind you, plant the tops of the feet down, magnetize the elbows. Cobra pose, option for up dog, if that's what you need. Breathe. Exhale, pressing back up. Down dog. Five breaths here. You are stronger than maybe you perceive. Stay here for me. Can you go inside, Abby? Exhale, bend the knees, look to the hands. Stepping up Back into your Uttanasana, forward fold. So we find nice small meditative movements. Inhale, halfway lift, Dasana. An opportunity to meditate while moving. Exhale, forward fold. And see if anything is shifting in each of your rounds. Inhale, slowly rise up. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Oh, sorry, hands to heart center. Bring the feet together at the top of the mat. Big toes touching, heels slightly apart. Navel to spine. Bend the knees back. Moving into our chair pose, Utkatasana. Arms reach behind you. Scraping the mat, arms rise up. Just take a moment. Find your prana. Tuck the tailbone down. Exhale, hands to heart center, forward fold. One more time, bend the knees, arms behind us. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, sitting down into our chair. Hands come to heart center, forward fold. Exhale, release the hands to the ground, bend the knees, plant the hands, stepping back into a high plank. Shifting the weight forward, lower down. Turn the ankle all the way to the floor. Untuck the toes. Option here to interlace the hands at the base of the spine. And lifting up, cobra. Reach those feet back and behind you. Open that heart space. Exhale, letting go. Pressing back into your down dog. Find your breath again. Feet come together at the back of the mat. Left leg to the sky. One beautiful long line from the tips of your fingers to the tip of your toes. Bend that knee, open that left hip. Inhale, bring the knee all the way in. We're going to plant that left foot down, lower the back leg. Inhaling up, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, see if you can lift a little higher with your arms. And exhale, sinking just a little deeper, opening up that right hip. Hands come to heart center. I'm going to move into Pravita Anjaneyasana, so rotated Anjaneyasana. Bring your tricep to the outer edge of your front thigh. Hands in prayer pose. Finding a little twist. See if you can sit here for a moment. Inhaling, lifting the head a little further away from the tailbone. And exhale, deepening that twist just slightly. Exhale, releasing. Arms come back up just for a moment. And exhale down to the ground. Lift that back toe, lift that back leg, left arm to the sky. Stacking those shoulder blades. Exhale, lowering back down. We're going to find a forward fold with that front leg, and you find where you need. I sometimes like to walk my foot a little bit further forward, almost going into split, so working my way to splits. Other times I like to sit on that back foot So we're just opening up that hamstring. Bring those toes towards your face and try and keep a flat back. Exhale, plant that front foot back down. Bring both hands to frame. And we're going to rotate that back foot, setting up for warrior two. I'm going to turn around again. And when you found your warrior two, feel free, windmill the arms up. So it's heel to heel alignment or front heel to the inner arch of the back foot. Arms extend, body is sitting evenly between the legs. Arms extend, gazing over those front arms, front up. Find some stillness here. Flip that front palm, reverse your warrior. Breathing into the left leg. Exhale back to center. Parsvakonasana, side angle pose. Forearm to thigh, right arm overhead. Smile. Exhale back to center, straighten that front leg, rotating it so it's parallel to the back of the mat. Forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. And find what you'd like here. Where do you need your fold? Where do your arms feel the most still? Take a moment to close your eyes over and find your breath again. Option to interlace the hands at the base of the spine and send them to the sky. Working to keep those palms nice and close together. Opening up the chest space. Keep those toes a little bit inverted. You might feel a bit of stretch along the front outer edge of the shin, of the calf. It's one of my favorites. Exhale back to center, and I want you to come to frame the right foot now. So we'll be spinning to the back of the mat, and that's okay. You might not be able to see me. Just listen to my voice and trust yourself. Back leg lowers down, Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Arms palm up to the sky. Tuck that tummy in. Inhale, lifting a little higher. And exhale, sinking into that left hip. Hands come to heart center. And find Prasita Anjaneyasana. Tricep to the outer edge of the front leg. And we're opening up our chest space to the right. So in our twist. Hands in prayer pose. Pressing down both the feet to find stability. Inhale, lengthen the crown of the head a little bit higher. And exhale, deepening the twist, deepen your core. Exhale, back to center. Arms rise up. And exhale, hands come down. Left hand to the ground. Tuck those toes, lift that back leg. Right arm to the sky. Feel that line of energy as you connect to the earth with your left hand and reach to the sky with the right. Keep that back thigh lifted. Exhale, lowering the right hand to the ground, rotating the back foot, setting up for warrior two. When you're ready, inhale, windmill up, warrior two. Tuck that navel to spine, pressing down on the nice edge of that back foot and all four corners of the front foot. Gazing over the right hand. Find some stillness. Flip that front palm, reverse your warrior. Exhale back to center. Forearm on thigh, left arm overhead. Side angle pose. Take some breaths into that left lung. Beautiful. Exhale, straightening up, rotating the front foot parallel to the front of the mat, back of the mat, and forward fold. You guys stay here for a moment because my battery might die, so I'm just going to try and run and find a extension cord, but stay here. And if I don't come back, keep that playlist going. Option to do Sun A at the top of the mat again, and then move into your stretching in Shavasana. Let me just quickly find a extension cord. And then back. Good job, you guys. Or in your forward fold. Cool. Okay, hold on 1%. So come back to the back of the mat. So we're in our forward fold. When you come back to the back of the mat, and we're going to lower down into our Uttanasana. We're going to try what our Sun A feels like, facing away from the screen, away from where we're used to it. Inhale, halfway lift, arms to shins. Exhale, bend your hands, bend your knees, plant your hands. Step back into our high plank. Find that one line of energy. Crown of head, reaching to the front, feet reaching to the back. Inhale, shift the weight forward, lower the knees if you'd like. Chaturanga. Feet extend behind you. Your back bend option, up dog, cobra, hands into base of spine. Just open up that chest space. Exhale, pressing back into down dog. Five conscious breaths here. Maybe you continue between your legs now. It's important we change things up. And notice if we're to do the same thing, but in a different way. What shifts? Bend the knees, look to the hands. I'm going to step back up to the hands. Actually, I'm so sorry. Take your feet back. Go back into your down dog. Bend the knees, and we're going to walk our hands to our feet. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. My cat is now joining us. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands and walk the hands back into your high plank. Find your high plank. Lower the knees if you'd like. chaturanga. Mm. Reach those feet behind you, cobra pose. Exhale back up, down dog. Bring both feet together, right leg to the sky. And open up that right hip. Inhale, bring that knee all the way in. We're going to plant it down into half pigeon. So bring the knee just underneath the right wrist, working to get a 90-degree angle with that front leg. So the shin is parallel to the top of the mat. And option to slide that hip back, your back leg back a little bit to drop in. And we find our half pigeon. If you have your blanket, feel free to pop it under your right glute, into your right bum cheek. Might help support if you're not on the ground yet. An option, if you feel comfortable, to fold all the way over. And find your prana again. Your breath. And so we're opening up that left hip, also stretching out the right glute and hamstring. So finding our second chakra, our sacral, our emotional center, our sexual center, our creative center. And if you feel any pins and needles or shooting pains, let that go. Exhale, we're going to roll over to the right a little bit. Bring that left knee in, facing the side of your mat, Bandha Konasana, bound angle pose. Option to fold forward again if you're ready. You can use again that towel or that bolster or blanket to come and help support your head if you're not reaching the ground yet, however you'd like to do it. And exhale, lifting back up. I'm going to swap feet. So now I'll be rotating to the back of the mat. Left leg is in your half pigeon. Right leg extends behind you. And you might notice something different on each side. For me, my left leg does not come down. And that's just where I'm at. So again, opening up that right hip while we stretch out the left glute, the left hamstring. Option to fold forward if you're ready. exhale, rolling over to the left side. I'm going to find our seated forward fold. Just half a leg to bring the right foot into your left thigh. Inhale, arms rise up and we'll fold forward. And find your breath again. And so maybe something came up for you during our class, during the repetitive sun A. Perhaps you noticed you were ready to move on. You didn't need to keep repeating. It was frustrating for you to sit in it. Or perhaps it was exactly what you wanted. No need to shift or change anything. The repetition grounds you. And so whatever it was, just notice. Just as on the mat, off the mat, we'll find cycles in life. Exhale, lifting up, we'll swap feet. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, forward, folding over the right leg. I think a beautiful part of yoga as a student is learning how to surrender. Perhaps you came to class with an expectation of what it might look like, of where you might go. And it's just not what it was. And so we learn to let go of those expectations and embrace the change that is part of life. Embrace what is out of our control. And find something, some meaning to it. And exhale back to center, and we're going to make our way onto our back. Option here for a moment, if you'd like to bring your towel or blanket behind you, we're going to place it, if it's a towel or blanket, I'm going to place it starting kind of midway up my back. But really it's about finding a lift in the chest. So bring your arms out wide. Feet can come together like Bandha Konasana. Or feet can extend in front of you, up to you. And what we're working here is finding a moment to open our chest and be vulnerable without fear. And so close the eyes over and take a few deep breaths. Deepen your breath, inhale, and we'll press up just to remove whatever we were using as our prop. Or if you haven't done it yet, feel free to keep going on that. It's one of my most favorite. It just feels very healing to open the chest space. So you can lie like that for a few moments longer, up to you. Otherwise, we'll go all the way onto our back, hug the knees in, and just rest here for a moment. Gently rock side to side to massage that lower back. Feel your belly on your thighs as you deepen your breath. You might feel a few muscles, particularly in your hips here, that might feel a little tight. grippy. And again, breathe into that space. Just keep breathing. Exhale, lower legs to the ground. Just going to bring our left foot, actually let's go into our supine twist. So bring the right leg all the way to the ground. Left leg, shins parallel to the ground. So 90-degree angle. Rolling over to the right, arms extended either side of you or in cactus. And rolling the head gently to the left. So the knee will be on one side, the head facing the other. Finding a twist in our spine. Exhale back to center, swapping sides, left leg to the sky, to the ground, right leg parallel to the earth, and we'll roll it over to the left, hand and head looking to the right. Option to close the eyes over and start to deepen the breath. Exhale back to center, moving our way into Shavasana. If you really enjoyed that elevated pose with the blanket under your chest, you can definitely take that for Shavasana. If you have some lower back problems like I do, and it's hurting to put your legs all the way straight on the ground, you can bring the towel blanket just under the thighs. Otherwise, feet extend. I like to roll the shoulders under my chest just to open the chest space a little more. Try and find a beautiful straight line from the crown of your head to your feet, and palms facing up. Shavasana, corpse pose. Begin to deepen your breath. And with each breath, we sink just a little deeper into the earth, relaxing the muscles on the face, noticing any tightness in the body, and working to let go and surrender. And just as in life there are endings and new beginnings, here we end our class just as we always do, and yet maybe not feeling exactly the same. And as your mind starts to wander, just bring it back to your breath, noticing, observing, still. Inhale gently, a little deeper. Starting to bring your attention back into your room, back into your body. Inviting gentle movements into your fingers and your toes. And begin to make your way onto your side, finding a pillow with your arm or whatever's comfortable for you. September 2020 is a time of change. Rebirth in a year of unexpected events. And exhale, pressing back up into a comfortable seat, keeping those eyes closed. And bring your hands to heart center. And just take a moment to revisit the intention you set at the beginning of class. And as we move through a new cycle of spring, an opportunity for us to begin to let go of things that are no longer serving us. Really give yourself a beautiful warm thank you for moving your body today. Thank you for sharing your practice with each other and with me, and joining me on this 6 weeks for spring journey. There's more to come. Namaste.